Oh, no. All right. So, hey guys, it's Aman
It is Christina.
Sunoa and Melea.
from Our Rich Journey, and we are going to be talking about the girls' custodial investment account. That's what this video is going to be about.
Yes, so we are going to do an update on their account. So we're going to open their accounts, show you what their accounts are, show you what they're invested in. But we also want to do something special with this video. We want to talk to Sunoa and Melea in this video about their investment journey and talk about some of the conversations that we have as a family about money and financial literacy. So we hope that you enjoy this video. It's really unique in how we're doing it, but we wanted to bring you along on the ride as we share our investment journey as a family. So let's get started with the video.
In 2020, Sunoa and Melea opened up their custodial accounts and shared with you the amount of money they had in their custodial accounts, and they talked about how they were investing their money for their financial independence. I think you guys were 11 and 13 at the time.
Today, we're going to be showing you our own personal investing account and how we're investing for financial independence.
Do you guys remember when you shared that YouTube video, how much money you had invested in those accounts? Let's start with Sunoa.
I do not remember. I don't even remember making that video, so I don't remember how much money we had in the account.
Now this is powerful. This means that you can give a child up to $30,000 a year without having to pay taxes.
Okay, Melea, do you remember how much money you had?
No.
Okay.
I think that's a good thing though, right? You put your money in, you set it and you forget it. That's the idea with investing, right? And
Yeah.
dollar cost averaging and all that. But yeah, you had some money in that account when you revealed your video. It was
And through our hard work, we have been able to grow our money to over $8,000.
And we're really proud of this. We're going to use this money in the future to continue to grow our wealth.
So combined, you had $16,000 at the time. In 2020, I think it was April of 2020. So does that sound like a lot of money?
Yes, since it was my own money that I put in there, yeah, I think that's a lot of money.
What about you, Mel?
Yeah, I could have bought like a lot of things with that.
But you know what I think is good though is that you guys had 8,000 and you said you could have bought a lot of stuff with that, right? So if you had 8,000, you bought all that stuff with it, you wouldn't have the amount of money that you have now in your account. So can you guys imagine? This was about maybe 2.5, 3 years ago. You had 8,000. Do you know what you have in your account right now? How much money you have?
Yes. Because you told us earlier, like $30,000.
Mel, how much money did we say you have now?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? Okay, so
Okay, it's sort of close. You don't have 30,000. You have 32,000. And Melea, you invested more, so you have $33,000 in your account now.
wow. Okay.
So over 3 years, your money grew from $8,000. It quadrupled. You have $32,000 and $33,000 each now.
Can I have some of it?
It is all yours, actually.
And actually, because you guys have custodial accounts, when you're 18 years old, you guys can pull the money from those accounts, transfer it to another type of investment account, you can do whatever you want with that money. That's your money at age 18. So you can continue to invest it. You can withdraw the money. Whatever the case may be, it's completely up to you. So, Melea, what have you been investing in that investment account? You know, Sunoa?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, who wants to answer it?
Melea, you can go first since you have more money.
S&P 500?
That's right. So, why have you been investing your money in the S&P 500?
This is the only investment we need. Instead of buying 5 to 10 stocks, we buy like 500 companies.
Because it's low risk.
And do you mind elaborating more on that?
Because like there's so many companies, you can't just put all your eggs in one basket.
I love that. That's so good, Mel. So when you're thinking about all of these different companies that people want to own individually, you guys are owning all of these things encompassed in one entire index fund. You own all of the top 500 companies in the U.S. stock market.
So, Melea, you have invested all this money. I mean, what are your plans for this? Oh, well, first of all, why did you choose to invest the money instead of just spending it on Legos and candy and all that good stuff?
So I could have more when I'm older.
Well, what do you plan on doing with it when you're older?
Buying a really, really nice house and paying for college.
Okay. Now, Sunoa, I have the same question for you. What are you going to do with the money that you've grown in your custodial account?
Probably the same thing as her, like buying a house or like putting a down payment on a house and paying for college, or maybe not for college, but for, like just everything that has to do with college, so like food and housing, that type of stuff.
I mean, for me, though, ideally, I think that you guys should apply for scholarships. There's so many ways that you guys can get free education, because the longer you can keep this money in those accounts, the more that money will grow. So if you're not pulling from it to pay for university, for example, you get scholarships, other ways to pay for your university, then that money continues to grow. And then you have even more money, either for a down payment on a house or potentially just paying all cash for a house if you wanted to do that. Or you could buy multiple homes. You could invest in multiple homes.
Okay, so like by the time I turn 18, so like in a little over a year, like how much money do you think I'll have in my account?
I mean, that's a really good question. There's no telling. You could have more, you could have less. It just really depends on the market. But if you look at this investment as a long-term investment, I think it's better to do that calculation of how much money you'll have based on a 5 to 10 year time frame projection.
Okay, after college then.
So how much money will you have after college in this account?
Yeah.
Wait, you know what? Let's run the calculation right now. So over 5 years, and let's say you have an annual return of about 10%, right? Let's use the average return of the stock market. So 10% over the next 5 years, let's run that calculation. Hold this.
80K.
Is it like the thing where it's compound?
Yes, it will be a compound interest of, we'll use 10% annually, and we'll use 10% because historically the S&P 500 has returned an average of 10% annually. So we'll use that. So you guys start at, let's use 32,000, which is Sunoa's account balance, $32,000.
Wait, is it monthly?
Yes, monthly contributions over a 5-year period at a 10% annual return.
So if you just invested $100 a month over that same period, you would almost double the amount of money in that account. So over the next 5 years, your account would grow to $59,192. Now, if you invested, let's say instead of $100 a month, you invested $200 a month, it would grow to $66,000. Now, in order to get to $100,000, I think you would have to invest about $500 a month to get close to $100,000. That's only $89,000, but still,
More like 90 because
more like 90.
But you think about it, it's like Sunoa, in 1 week, you made 120 euros from babysitting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so right now you don't have any expenses. You don't
Yeah.
have any expenses. You could save and invest all of your money. So $500 wouldn't be too unreasonable. If you kept up with babysitting and you're making your bracelets also, right? You could invest that amount of money and then have, $90,000 by the time you graduate from university. Our home that we invested in the Bay Area, we put down $17,000 or $20,000. Can you?
Only?
Yes.
So I could put down a mortgage on a house right now.
But you know what we should do after this video? We should talk about like setting a goal of a real estate investment goal. So if you want to start investing in real estate, what you should do is identify how much money you want to get started with in 5 years. And then you'll know how much money you need to start to save and invest every month in order to reach that goal of buying real estate. And, normally you don't really want to put money that you want to buy a house into an investment account if you're planning on buying the house in a relatively short amount of time. But if your strategy is to buy real estate based off of the returns that you have in the stock market, that's a fine strategy, right? And that's kind of similar to what me and mommy did, right? We were using the money that we were growing in our investment accounts, and we would take the profits from those investment accounts to buy real estate, and then the profits that we made from real estate we would turn around and put back into our investment accounts, and it was like a loop of wealth building that just went up and up and up. So what you can do is use this compound interest calculator to say, okay, in 5 years, in 10 years, how much money would I have in the stock market to be able to start to invest in real estate? And then what you can do as you get closer to that point where you're going to start to buy that real estate, maybe you start to take profits from your investment accounts while they're high, and then set those profits aside so you can use them for a down payment on your first investment property.
Yes, because one of the other things we talked about also was you don't even necessarily have to wait until you graduate university to buy your first property, right? We talked about this concept of buying a property where you go to university. Maybe in the first year you spend the year in the dorms, but then after that you buy a property with multiple rooms, and you and your roommates live in that house, and your roommates pay you the rent, and they can essentially cover the mortgage, where you're not even paying rent. You're collecting all the rent from them, which exceeds the rent of the mortgage if you buy the right property. So you're investing in real estate as a university student, and right now you have the money to do that, and they can be paying for your mortgage when you live rent and mortgage free. So one of the things that we've talked about between Daddy and I is that we read this book called Die with Zero, right? And the concept of it, and we've talked to you guys about this actually already too, but the concept of it is that we don't want to wait until we pass away for you to get your inheritance, because that may not be the optimal time for you to actually use that inheritance. So maybe if you're 70 years old, you've already built up your money, and an inheritance won't actually add that much value to you at that point in your life. But if we can start sharing the money that we have now with you, that would ultimately you would get once we pass away, if you're able to use that now, you can benefit from it more now. So Daddy and I were saying, because you guys have been such good stewards with your money in your investment accounts and really growing your investment accounts, when you go in the future to use that money, either on a down payment, on a house, to purchase a house, to start a business of your own, we will match that money. So if you use it as an investment, we will be your venture capitalist. We will match the money that you use to invest.
So like, if I put a down payment for $30K, you'd give me another $30K?
Yes.
Good math, Sunoa. Excellent.
So you can think of it two ways. Either you can put basically double the amount that you normally would for a down payment, which would lower your...
So that I could get a better house, basically.
Yeah, you could you could afford a bigger house if you wanted, but
Yeah.
you have to remember the monthly mortgage payments, as long as is something that you can do. Or what you can do is you can end up just paying half of the down payment that you normally pay, because we would pay the other half.
What if I pay like the whole down payment and you pay the mortgages, because like you'd still be matching my thing just over a period of time.
Oh, you're very creative.
Oh, I see what you're trying to do. Okay.
So you mean, for example, okay, let's say you had $30,000 you put as a down payment, and then you have your mortgages after that, and you want us to break up the $30,000 in mortgage payments for a certain period of time?
But I mean, the idea is that your tenants would be paying your mortgage, so you wouldn't you wouldn't need our money.
I just get a nicer house then, basically. Yeah.
I think it's good though, because you're thinking creatively, like how can you maximize that amount of money that you'd be receiving, right, to make it the most beneficial for you. You have a question, Mel?
No, I was just going to say I would think about my budget, and then I would double it when I'm looking for houses.
Yeah, you could definitely say, you'll double your budget. In terms of down payment, though, because you still have to think about if you buy a much larger house and you put more money down, you'll still have a much higher mortgage potentially, depending on the interest rate of your mortgage. So you have to be thinking of not just how much the down payment is, but whether or not you can afford that monthly payment every single month on the house.
Yeah, but like Daddy was saying, like I just have roommates to pay for all that stuff. You know what I'm
But,
saying?
you know, depending on how big the house is, you know, sometimes if houses are really big, people turn them into like apartments or like studios and stuff like that. And then I can get a lot of money depending on where I live and like how the rent is.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. You could actually potentially break up you could buy an apartment complex if you wanted to. You could buy a
Duplex or a triplex.
Sometimes on the street I see normal houses that are just split in half, so I could just do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a duplex. That's a
Yeah,
duplex.
and you know what? We could do that together. We could work on that. We could work on that house, because you know I love to do renovations
For free?
for free. Let's cross that road when we get there.
So what we want to do is part of this video will also go into their accounts and show their accounts. So we'll do that right now.
Okay, so let's go into that. And right now, this is Malea's custodial account, and as you can see, Melea is invested 100% in the S&P 500 Vanguard Index Fund. It's called VFIAX, and her current balance is $33,924.64. That's amazing. She almost has $34,000 invested. And if we go into Sunoa's account, Sunoa is also 100% invested in the S&P 500 Vanguard Index Fund, which is again VFIAX, and her current balance is $32,517.20. I mean, that is amazing what you guys have been able to build through your side hustles, through your birthday money, through your babysitting, through your crocheting business. I mean, can you talk a little bit about your biggest crocheting deal that you've had so far, Melea?
The one with Sunoa's friend where I made her an outfit.
Okay, how much money did you make on that deal?
I sold it for €80, but my profit was probably like 60.
So we just went through the girls' investing accounts, and I just want to do a quick shout out for people that are parents, have a younger generation, and they're wanting to teach them about money, or if you're trying to learn about money yourself. We have open enrollment now in our 365 Days to FIRE program, where it's all about developing a FIRE plan, your investment plan, stock investing plan, real estate investment plan, side hustle plan. We also have in-person meetups in Portugal where we are all there. It's so much fun. So if anyone is interested in enrolling in that program, it's open now. You can go to 365days2fire.com, or we'll also leave a link in the description below.
So I have one final question for you guys, and it's a question that we get a lot of from parents who also have children, and they want to. That sounded funny the way I said that, right? Yeah. Well, it comes from
parents who also have children. Yeah,
yeah. I know. It sounded strange, but it is a question about how do they encourage their children to start investing. So I'm going to turn the microphone to Melea first, because I want to know, how have we encouraged you to start investing and thinking about wealth?
What's really encouraged me is when you match the things that I invest, because then I'm like, no, this is more than I'm actually putting in, so I should just take this chance and I should do it.
I want to elaborate on that real quick, and then I'll let you say your thing, Sunoa, because so one of the things we've been able to do also, and I do think this is a really great technique for parents that are in a position where they can potentially do this, because when you have younger people that are investing, a lot of times they don't have access to something like a 401k match with their employer because they're under 18. They haven't built up their professional career where that's accessible to them at that point. But I always feel like that's an incentive. If you feel like if you can put money in and you can get it matched, that's an incentive to put your money into your investment. So one of the things that we've done with you guys is different opportunities where you have money and you're trying to really grapple between, okay, how much should I save? How much should I invest? How much can I spend? We give you that incentive by saying, okay, whatever you put into your investment account, we'll match it. Very similar to what we're saying about investing in a house and giving you those opportunities, because again, younger people don't have those opportunities with an employer to get that match like you would with a 401k. So we have been able to do that with you guys, and you're saying that incentivizes you to invest more into your accounts?
Yeah, like I just put in like 600 because Daddy said he would match it.
Yes, one of the things with you, Mel, too, is you like to save money. You're really good at saving money. So we have to give you sometimes that extra push to incentivize you with all of the money you save. I mean, $600 at one point of just holding it on to. We talk about this action of actually investing it, then matching it and seeing how much it can grow. And I think that's where you see that slight difference between your two accounts. So no, Mel has a little over $1,000 more than you, but I think it's because you save so much, but then you see this opportunity where you get the match and then you put a really large lump sum payment into your account. So Sunoa, to the question, what would you say is a way to incentivize parents to talk to their kids about investing or to encourage investing?
Well, I think one of the ways that you guys encouraged me to invest was more so like how you guys were able to spend so much money, or like just being able to do so many cool things, like going on vacation or like flying first class and that type of thing. And it made me think like, I want to be able to do that when I get older. And the way you guys were able to achieve that was through investing. So it's like, okay, I want to invest too then. So I can do all the things that you guys have done.
Yeah, so it's like we've set the bar high for
Yeah.
you guys, and you guys have seen how we're able to live off of our assets and reap the benefits in our, at still a relatively young age. And I think that's very encouraging to see someone and then aspire to also do that. That's exactly why me and Christina got involved in investing. We would see other people and say, how did they do it? Because we want to one day be at that level. And I think what's really great about what you guys do when you see us spend money or invest money is you guys ask the right questions. You ask, well, what are you investing in, and how are you able to do this, and this and that. And I think that is the most valuable thing that we can provide to you guys as parents. It's not necessarily the money, but with the knowledge of how we got the money, right? Because then you can put your own spin on it. You can apply your own skill set, your own experience, your own innovation to grow your wealth on your journey.
Yeah, because I think one of the things that you're saying, Sanoa, is you can see from the things that we get to do and how we're able to do it, that's what you want to do. You want to invest so you can have those experiences when you grow up and with your family as well. But another element to it is not just being able to see and have those experiences, but also being able to have these types of discussions that we have all the time about, what are you investing in? What is the S&P 500? Why would you invest in the S&P 500 as opposed to one individual stock? You get to learn your financial literacy, or you learn more about financial literacy and how to handle your money. And understanding that, I think, also encourages you to invest more, to say, okay, this is how they did it. I know exactly step by step the things that I can do. Because when Daddy and I were younger, we didn't have those step-by-step elements. We didn't understand that investing in the stock market isn't just about day trading or investing in an individual stock. We had no clue what an index fund was. But being able to see and have these experiences that you have now, and also having that underlying component of financial literacy, that's what's so important. And I think if parents can instill that in their kids, of what are the things that you want when you grow up? What are the experiences that you want to have? Well, you have to have money in most cases for those things. And this is how you can build a path of financial abundance or wealth in your portfolios, by investing in these types of things.
What's interesting is I remember the first time you guys really started to have questions about money. And I think it was, I don't remember which one of you guys had come home from daycare or like a summer camp. And one of the summer camp instructors had bought the new iPhone. Do you remember that? Do you remember that thing? Well, you guys were so young, but I remember you came home and you said, "Oh my goodness, this person has this brand new iPhone." And then I asked you guys. I said, "Wow, that's a really expensive phone. How many hours of work do you think she had to put in to be able to buy that phone?" Do you remember that? And then I said to you guys, I think, we ran a quick calculation, and I said she would have to work 2 weeks, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week in order to buy that phone. She'd have to work a very long amount of time. And I said, if I told you right now you had to go clean your rooms for 40 hours, would you want that iPhone? And you guys were like, "No way, it's not worth it." And that's when we started to really make that connection with, when you are buying something, you can either trade your time for it, or you can build assets up, right? They can buy those things for you. And that's the difference between making money with your investments and making money with your time. And that's where we want you guys to get to. We want you guys to get to a point where you don't have to trade your hours for dollars. Instead, the dollars that you guys have put in your custodial accounts will take the place of any hours you ever have to work for money.
Yeah, so I actually wanted to close this video off by just saying we made this really unique video. It's very different from the videos that we typically make, because it's usually just you and I, right, and not the girls. But we have these conversations all the time where we sit down, we pull up the computer, we look through different things. We look at different investments, different investment opportunities, not just in the stock market, but in real estate as real estate investors. And we talk about investing just to help you guys increase your financial literacy, so that by the time you are starting your careers, your professions, and you're getting more and more money, you know what to do with that money, you know how to grow that money, and you have plans for how to really create financial independence on your own terms. So we wanted to create this video to give people sort of this like fly on the wall type of experience, where they can sort of sit in and see our conversations of how we talk to you guys about money, and so that it can encourage other people to talk to their kids about money in a similar way. And people may not be at the same path as us, on the same trajectory. Maybe some people are further behind. Maybe some people are further ahead in terms of their journey. But I think it's really important to bring the younger generation along on what you're learning in terms of financial independence, in terms of investing, and how to invest in a smart and reliable way to really grow your wealth. Because the sooner that you can get the younger generation on board, the more. You were talking about compound interest and how the compound interest can play its role and grow its money. So I just wanted to say that I really appreciate people sitting in and listening to our family conversation today. And if they like that, maybe we can do more of these, because we have these conversations all of the time. We just don't necessarily put up a camera and get our microphones out and start talking about it.
And we're usually at dinner, right?
Exactly.
We're usually at dinner. This is sitting on the couch. We have these conversations, but usually it's over a good meal.
Yes. So of course, if you guys like this video, in the future we can do more videos on that. Please leave a comment below. Tell us what you like about the video. If you have questions, give a comment out to Sunoa and Melea. And of course, if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and
join the journey. So thanks for watching our video, but before we let you go, we wanted to let you know that our year-long action-oriented program for pursuing financial independence and retiring early is open now. Our 365 Days to FIRE program. It is a one-of-a-kind program that helps you get closer to your financial independence and retiring early goals. And so if you are interested in this program, please go to 365daystofire.com and check out everything that this program has to offer.
Yes, please check it out. We're so excited to be going into our third year of this program. As part of the program, we have exciting in-person meetups here in Portugal. We have people break up into smaller accountability groups and do activities with their groups. You have daily FIRE tasks. You have plans that you create. You create an entire FIRE plan that includes your stock investing plan, your real estate investing plan, your estate plan, your side hustle plan. Every single plan gets accumulated into your FIRE plan. And we also have a coaching plan as part of this program where you can get feedback from us, we review your plans, and you can ask us any of your fire-related questions. So again, if you are interested in signing up for this program, enrollment is open now. You can go to 365daystofire.com, and we'll also leave a link in the description below.